I am the firstborn of 7 children. I come from a very happy family. Yes, my father and mother are very happy, generous people. I call them generous because our house had so many people. Jagero. People say they were living with people. No, in my mother's house we were living with the cousins and aunties and neighbors and strangers. In our house every day there were at least 5 visitors there or more for breakfast, and the dinner also more. Yes, like at any given time in that home, I think there were at least 20 people who slept in that home every day, sleeping. So we grew up knowing if you're eating something, you divide for others. That generosity just grew in us. And my mother was also very. My mother paid school fees for many people in that town. Homa Bay town, my mother has schooled a lot of people. Same to my dad. So I know when people say opposites attract, I think the only opposite between my mom and dad is that my dad speaks little and my mother speaks a lot. But character-wise, they're all very happy people, generous, and they love parties. My parents loved parties. We are 7 children. All of us had birthday parties, and Easter. Every public holiday there was still something to be slaughtered. Like our home was, it was a happy home. Yes, and my mother believed in you always cook excess just in case somebody pops in. So all of us, we are very humble in the way we are, and God has blessed us. I was the first graduate of theatre arts from a Kenyan university. We have got other people who are PhD holders in theatre arts, but they didn't get it from Kenya. Thank you so much. And I got it at 31. If it was not for that abusive marriage, I could have gotten it at 29. One thing, Jagero, is that every human has got their limit to everything. Just like when you eat, some people can eat more, some people can eat little, and we are all satisfied. The same with even abuse and living. You can only live when you feel you have taken enough. No matter how much you tell somebody in an abusive marriage that live, they will not live until the day they feel the conviction that this is enough. So I always tell people, weigh your options. Because also divorce is not easy. Life out here is not easy being a single woman, and people, our culture is like you need a man to help you take care of the children. Single women have been given all sorts of names. So one, can you take in that and still be sane and still say, I wake up happy? Or will all those things said about single women are going to affect you? So you have to really weigh your options of staying in and staying out. There are people who decide, I am not going to leave this man and I am going to be here and live with him like a widow. You get what I mean? Yes. Like you are living together, you go to family events together, but you don't even have sex. There are many marriages, especially in this city. Why? Many.
That's a terrible situation to be in.
Yes, that's a terrible situation to be in. But there are a lot of marriages that are like that. People are together for cultural reasons. That's what I call it. So that people see they are looking good together. So you have to decide what are your options. You start, okay, with the salary that I am having, if I leave, this man might stop paying school fees for the children. That is why some people say, I'm here for the children. The man might stop paying school fees for the children. Maybe he's not a good man. Yes, he beats me, he does this, and then he gives me money. Some people value that money more than anything else, isn't it? But first, there are those of us who are like, I know it's not going to be as good as it is here, but I'm ready to start again because I value myself more than... Because some of us, we love with our hearts, not with our head. You get it? Tukipenda tunapenda mpaka hata
kichwa. You told me about that, about
hata yourself. Kichwa haifanyi kazi, ni wewe tu. You get it? So when things are shattering, we can't think. We can't think because we don't love with our heads. We love with here. So there are people who love differently. So if you love with your head, then you can just decide, hii ndio napiga kelele, wacha nimwachie hapo, and you live your life. You even have different 2 bedrooms, that's okay. But those women who love with their hearts, it is not easy to stay in an abusive marriage. Because I always feel when you are broken emotionally, you cannot even grow financially. Because when you're stressed, you cannot focus on work, you cannot focus on any project. So unaona pesa inaanza kupungua. So because your emotional capacity to hold things is not there. When you are stressed, even if I come and give you a proposal of 1 million, your mind is not there. You'll just hear, oh, deadline ilipita. Because your mind is always thinking, oh, what will he say? What time is he coming home? What if? Does he love me anymore? And hey, me nowadays I sleep. I sleep.
You sleep.
I sleep. I am not worried whether somebody will pick my calls or not. What time is somebody coming home? Yeah, my children eat, and then I go to my room. If I'm working, I work. If I'm sleeping, I sleep. I wake up in the morning, I say, praise Jesus, and I go on with my day like, hey, the only things I always call to confirm, hello, are you picking the kids this weekend? Fine. If it's not, fine. I am having my children. I'll have my weekend. Oh, hello, have you paid fees or not? I don't want him to be given to me. Tumakwashule sent for me confirmation. Fine, my life is new. Peace that surpasses human understanding. You can only involve someone who's interested in being involved. You get what I mean? Even if you put a court order, I've seen men resign from jobs if they are forced to pay for child upkeep. People have done nasty things. So the thing is this, I always say you can only involve someone who's interested. Personally, I said I'm not going to go to court over children. I'm blessed and highly favored. So I will tell you, I can take care of my children since I'm living with them, but you will pay school fees. If you want to pay school fees, fine. If you decide you're not going to pay that term, I will pay. Because, like I said, peace is very expensive. And I believe God has never denied me things that I need. So
Yeah.
if my child needs to go to school, Jagero, that child is going to go to school. Yeah. So if that man is not going to pay the fees, God is going to make a way. Jagero, you will end up calling me for a job and pay me exactly that school fees that I need. Hii ni kazi tu ya siku mbili. And you are going to pay me exactly that amount of school fees and I'm going to pay it. God is going to make a way. Somebody who is willing, you tell them, okay, I need us to talk about the children. One, I prefer if you take the children this week and I take them next weekend. Or if you know the person's pattern, is it easier for them to see the children once a month or twice a month? Then you create that pattern, create the calendar. Men will never have that initiative. A lot of them. So as a woman, create that calendar and tell them, this is the calendar. Do you agree with it? Okay, make the relevant changes as you want. School fees, will you pay? Then me, I take a cutter for this medical. You'll cater for, or I cater for. Or let us both put the children in our medical. It depends on where the children are. And I mean, those kind of stuff. So have a conversation. And I think what usually happens is that just after breakup, it is hard to have this conversation because we are very emotional, We are human beings.
Yeah.
Then now you are feeling like, it's hard to have such a conversation. So, but sometimes give yourself time to heal first before you have this conversation because sometimes you also keep hoping that you're going to get back together,
Yeah.
Yes. Let's not pretend it, apana.
Hey.
The first few months, first 6 months, you keep hoping, maybe. Then you realize, I think I'm enjoying this peace. Yeah. So there's also that room. So give yourself room to heal. Agree, talk about it and say, okay, which weekends work for you? The first ones or, it can be the first 2 weekends, they see you the next 2 weekends, or it is every other weekend, things like that. Or you say, agree, okay, when you have a special event also, sometimes you don't have to follow the calendar. If somebody is having a special event, let me say in your home, you are meeting all your extended family, and it is that weekend is not falling within your calendar. I mean, just be human. Let the person have their children. They go share with their brothers and sisters and aunties. Some of these things, it doesn't have to be so strict. Be strict with the calendar as you can, but also be flexible when time allows. If your people are meeting a family event, so you're going to tell those people, it was not my weekend to be with the children, so Zippy couldn't allow. No, it's wrong. Sometimes you look at the best interest of the children. The children would like to meet their cousins. And what? Let the children go. Yes. I mean, if the father says that, I am traveling out of the country and it is during holidays and I like to go with the children for a week or two. I mean, why not? Let my children go and explore the world. Sometimes the question is, you have put all these things down, but for the best interest of the children, that is what you should think about. But agree, especially financially. Is the person going to be sending you money, or are they going to deposit into the account? Are they going to be sending to school? Let that be clearly written. It might need a lawyer. It might not need a lawyer. If you have property together, that one you need a lawyer so that it is clearly stated whose shares are how many and all that kind of stuff. Yes, and who's buying out the other person. That needs to be very clear. Because I look at property as an inheritance for my children. Yes. So for me, I'm always like, I need to know what's mine. Give me what's mine. You keep what's yours. And life goes on. First and foremost, children are very intelligent. Let's start from there. You know, people look at children as if, oh, it is a child, it is a child. Children are very intelligent. They can see mommy and daddy are no longer living together. You can only lie for so long that daddy or mommy is always working out of town. So after you have healed, take your time and tell the children. But tell them in a nice way. Don't put your issues onto children. Just tell them, mommy and daddy are no longer going to be living together, but they love you so much. They'll always be there for you. If you need anything, you can tell mommy and daddy. You know, let the children not feel like, oh, it's because mommy and daddy. You know, sometimes you tell them like life happens. Sometimes even, like what I told my children, like, as a person, you had friends in class 1, class 2, you get it. But not all the friends you had in class 1 are still your friends right now. So as you grow older, there are people who stop being your friends, and then you make new friends. And that's what happened to mommy and daddy. No. Don't put your issues at you. Oh, daddy did this, they did this, mommy did this. No. The children have a different relationship with each of you. Just like in a family of the 7 of us, each of us had a different relationship with our parents. You get it? Yeah.